Good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change, just live recorded, and we're going to go to the moon soon, hopefully. Let's see who's in the chat, and then we'll get into this. Going to talk about Kaspa being, 25 cents, possibly. We have a technical analysis going to show us that, and then, yeah, we're going to go from there. But let's see who's here. Nick K, good to see you. Neomorphous, Mr. Red Llama. Dude, good to see you. Cheers to you, buddy. Haven't seen you in quite some time. Good to see you back around these parts. I know we saw Red Fox last night as well in Mr. DJ Minds chat. Mr. Andrew Masad, good to see you. Broskis, Chris Hanley, 56, Peepaw Bill, my man, good to see you. Steven, good to see you, buddy. Crypto KJ, as always. And hey, by the way, appreciate you. I don't know if I said this publicly, but thank you for boosting the Misfit Mining Discord server. You're awesome, dude. Mr. Fully Electric, good to see you. Chris Hanley, good morning. Fruit and Tains and Big Irish Crypto, good to see you guys. All right, let's get into the market. We'll see what's going on today, and then we'll get into the news and such. We have a possible $1 million Bitcoin. There's some math to go behind it too, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, let's see. 37,773 for Bitcoin. Ethereum is a little bit over 2,000 bucks, 2,080. We have Kaspa. Look at this. Kaspa's in the deep green right now. Almost 14 cents once again. Man, Kaspa's just absolutely surprising me this entire time. It's crazy. $58 Sol. We have a 7-cent Doge, almost 8 cents, which is pretty impressive. XRP 62 cents. Wow, XRP took a little bit of a jump, huh? Let's see. Algorand is up 14 cents, just about. Not too bad. All right, let's check out Crypto Bubbles over here. This is on the week. Biggest earner on the week is Blur at 82.8%. Look at that. Damn, that took a nice moonshot, huh? 60 cents. Pretty good. Let's see. Mr. Dan R in the chat says Red Fox always looks like a rapper with this mic and the way he talks with his hands. Dude, I love my boy Red Fox. Don't give him shit, all right? Let's see. Kaylay, what is this? What is this? Clayton? I don't even know what this is. 21 cents. Interesting. It's up 30.3%. I just like to kind of check this out to see if there's any new coins that are like popping up on the chart that like we don't know of. This is on the day here. We have Ape. This Ape coin is up 20.6%, ranked 79 now at $1.75 per coin. Interesting. Mana, let's see, 12.2% up on the day. 61 is the rank, and it's 46 cents. Not too bad. Everything else pretty whatever. Kaspa's up 4.8% on the day. 13.8 again. It showed on right here, coin 360 that it's at. Oh, actually no, it's at 13.8, so I guess that works. It was 13.9 a second ago. All right, fear and greed index, we're at 73. So again, this is pushing the line of getting greedy, so just be mindful. I know people are getting kind of bullish, and the bull run is starting to show up, so just take this as you will. Make sure you guys are fearful when people are greedy, and greedy when people are fearful. All right, let's see. Top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP, USDC, Solana, Lotto staked, Ether, Cardano, and Dogecoin in the top 10. We have Litecoin in 19th, Shiba in 20th, Bitcoin Cash in 22nd, if anybody cares about that. Kaspa still in 28th. It flipped ETC. It is still below Monero by 100 million, right? That kind of threw me off for a second. All right, let's Flux is doing well. Mr. Tane says Flux is doing well. God damn it. Why does Flux have to do well right now? Just because I sold out of it, that's why. God damn it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about this. It's 51 cents. Good on Flux. Anybody holding it? Yeah, I don't know. You know what? It's my luck, though. That's my luck. That would happen. That would absolutely happen, but it's all right. I flipped it into something that'll be worth it in the long run. All right, didn't mean to do that. Wrong button. Let's get into, if I could hit the right buttons today, the mining segment. Let's see what we're making on these miners, and we'll get into the news. WinMiner K9, still top of the profitability. This is at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, making $278 a day. We have the KS3 from Ice River, which is making $215 a day. We have the KS2, let's see, 52, almost 53 bucks a day. The KS1's making $26 a day, and the KS0 Pro is making $5.33 a day. Again, this is on 10 cents per kilowatt hour, so take that as you will. Obviously, the higher electric rate, a little bit less you'll make, but thankfully the Kaspa miners are typically not going to change much, right? Like, let me just for anybody that might be new here, I'm just going to put it up to 30 cents, right? Because I'm going to be paying that soon, which is unfortunate, but nothing I can do about it. All right, look, 30 cents. Even at my 30 cents per kilowatt hour, oh, that's the original. KS0 Pro is still making $4.85 per day. That's at 30 cents kilowatt hour. The Windminer K9 is still making $262. The Ice River KS3 is still making $200 a day at 30 cents. That's unreal. But that's awesome. That's amazing, right? Let's go back to 10 cents and then we'll check out a few other miners. I'm using the X16Q from jinglemining.com. If you guys are interested, links are in the description below. Did that go to 10? Yeah. All right, 10 cents. Let's see. X16Q, $6.39 per day. Not too bad. The X4Q, that's my X4Q. No, it is. What is this? What is CLO? What the hell is CLO? CLO for a coin. What is this? Is that like Callisto or something? Let me see. I gotta look this up now. What is CLO? Who knows? Anybody know? Anybody mining that? CLO, Clover. I don't even know what that coin is. What is that coin? What is happening? That's not the same logo, is it? I guess kind of is. Maybe. Is it this one? Or is it Callisto? I think it's Callisto. I think it was this one. All right. Let me know in the chat. People are saying Chlor. No way. That's not Chlor. That's not Chlor. No. That's not Chlor. That can't be. That's definitely different. That is definitely different. Callisto. Okay. That's what I thought. That's this one. The logo is so hard to tell on this. Hold on. Where is it? Right here. Super hard. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's the same logo. Yeah, that's the same logo for sure. All right. So this one's most profitable. So this has had a pump, apparently. Let's go to the 7-day. Go to the 7-day. Weird. I wonder why this wasn't like this yesterday, though. I wonder why the yield's so high on Callisto as of right now. Interesting. I guess that's hey, here's what it is. Take the profitability while you can get it. I guess mining that is the best. Let's go back and check it out. So again, making $3 a day mining Callisto, I guess that's a new thing for me. I don't know. I'm not mining that. I'm swapping right from unMineable to Kaspa. We have the X4 1U, $1.40 per day. Let's see what else. What else do I have? I don't even know what else I have going. Actually, I have this iPolar V1 Mini Classic. Mining ETC and ZIL should be making 20 cents a day, but obviously I'm losing money on these, but it's keeping the trailer warm, so that's all I care about. All right, let's get into the news today. So I want to first, we're going to start off with just CNBC television, regular news, you know, whatever happened yesterday overall. We're not going to listen to the end part. Then we're going to get right into a Kaspa technical analysis and then a few other things. Actually, a new channel that I didn't even get to watch the video, but I want to hear what the guy has to say because he was popping up on like search terms. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? So we'll get into that in a second. And then Crypto Zombie had the great video with $1 million math for Bitcoin, which is kind of neat. And it's that same guy that took that buy Bitcoin, hold rich AF, like DJ says, right? That bald guy. I don't know if you guys remember who I'm talking about, but you'll see him in a second. All right, let's get into this, guys. Hit that like button. Appreciate you all for watching. Let's do it.
Today, Bitcoin and Ether rise to close out the week with Bitcoin hitting another 2023 high. And Core DAO contributor Rich Rines discusses Binance's settlement with U.S. government officials and what it means for the crypto industry.
That guy needs to lose those Coke bottle glasses right now. We're not going to listen to him, though.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Digital currencies held steady through the Thanksgiving holiday, having recovered from a big dip earlier in the week, with Bitcoin hitting a new high for 2023 on Friday. Bitcoin touched the $38,400 level for the first time since May 2022. That's according to Coinmetrics. By noon Eastern, it was higher by almost 2% at about $37,700 and ending the week higher by 4%. Meanwhile, Ether has moved back above the key psychological level of $2,000, trading more than 2% higher to end the day at just about $2,100. The second largest token by market cap outperformed the crypto market this week, ending up more than 8%. And then Solana, the big outperformer on the year, it's up more than 476% for the year compared to Bitcoin's 130%. It trailed the major tokens this week. It's hovering at about the flat line.
It's at like 62 bucks right now.
All right, let's jump right into our main story. Broker Bernstein came out with a research report on Wednesday arguing that Binance will still remain the dominant exchange in international markets. This is despite the outflows following news earlier this week that the world's largest crypto exchange settled with U.S. government officials. Its CEO, Changpeng Zhao, also pleaded guilty to charges against him and stepped down from his role. Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with CoreDAO contributor Rich Ryans about that research and what he thinks will change following Binance's settlement.
Wait, is that literally all it was? That's all the news they got? God, that was... All right, well, apparently I should have watched that prior. My bad, guys. All right, let's get into this technical analysis. There wasn't really much for them to talk about. But, I mean, Binance, honestly, Binance ain't going nowhere. Let's be real. If FTX or the FTX exchange, I don't know if they're still going to call it that, or if they're going to rename it, what they're doing. But if they're still open and they're allowed to reopen and resell shit, I mean, yeah, Binance ain't going anywhere, at least my opinion. All right, let's check out this Kaspa technical analysis. Again, take this as you will with a grain of salt. Nothing is financial advice, but it is nice to get other people's takes on where Kaspa might go. And he shows a 25 cent is very possible real soon. So let's do it.
Hello, and welcome to another update video about Kaspa. Kaspa hasn't really moved much since the last update. The support zone that I showed you, I think I showed it already to you in the last video, is still valid. So let's talk about the chart. First of all, maybe let's zoom out first. And here again, quick reminder for anybody who watched the last videos, also for everybody who's new, obviously you need to be or get familiar with the structure. There are two structures that I'm following on this chart. In both, I would primarily be watching for higher prices at the moment. The white wave structure is short-term more bullish, and the white wave structure is the one in which we see the initial move up as an A wave, the move down as a B wave here into the May 23 lows, where the price found a low around 1.2 cents. And then the move up now would be a C wave. Okay, there are various ways how this can be counted, but I would say it's a 1, a 2, we're now in a third wave, then a 4 and a 5. Okay, so this means this is quite an aggressive bullish count that would still allow the price to get to 36 cents plus. It's an ABC structure, okay? And at the moment we are in the C wave. The yellow count is not as bullish. The yellow count is a leading diagonal.
Honestly, that C wave gets into like, what is it, 36 cents to like 50 something cents?
It's counted a little bit differently.
Actually, it goes up to $1. $1.23. Jeez, that's crazy.
In the leading diagonal, we have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a very much extended wave 5. If after this wave 5, which is basically one more higher low and one more higher high, we get an...
I honestly think 25 cents is probably more of a psychological level, right? Like, people just like even numbers. That's pretty much how it goes. When people trade, if you guys notice that, there's usually sell walls at certain numbers. Like, it'll be, you know, say just for round numbers like 50 or 100. Like, I'm sure Kaspa will be 25 cents just because people like that even shit. You know?
Another higher low and another higher high, then we've got the white wave count. That's the only way. So you can only really distinguish them by taking a look at, okay, what happens after the next high? If after the next high, we are breaking below certain support levels, which I cannot define now, but if we break below certain support levels, then I can add, then we know that, a top has been made basically, okay? But if those support levels are holding, which we will then define once that top has been made, then we can look forward to another high in wave C. The C wave can extend, okay? So the thing is, I'm now watching if we get one more higher low and one more higher high anyway, also in the yellow count. And I'm going to zoom in a minute. And anything after that, any more highs would be part of the white wave count. And that's quite important to understand. It's quite an important concept. And you need to be able to distinguish between these counts, because in the yellow count, after the next high, that's it. And we can look forward to a deep pullback, very deep pullback, possibly, okay? It would certainly send us down.
Which I mean, deep pullback, right? Have we really not been expecting some sort of pullback for Kaspa? We just haven't gotten it yet. So I don't know. It's things can't go up forever. That's the way I look at it, right? So I assume there's gonna be a pullback at some point, but if you guys didn't know,
this hash rate's going bonkers.
So I'm not sure we're going to come back down, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I just say something now because I haven't got a top in place, so I can't really give you a target, but I would say roughly 5 to 6 cents. Okay, this previous breakout point, maybe we'll retest it again, which would be quite a dramatic sell-off. In the white wave count, we wouldn't.
Well, technically, with trading, DJ, a 4-cent move isn't really big. He said went from 15 cents to 11. That's big. It's really not. Like a 50% retracement's typical when it comes to like big moves. You know what I mean? So I don't want to see it go below 11. I really don't. But I guess 7's not out of the realm of possibilities, right? Halfway, 50% retracement.
See that. So it's important to know that after the next high, the risk for such a pullback has significantly increased, or would significantly increase. Of course, not guaranteed, and I would watch for further continuation until micro support levels are breaking. But it just tells you that we have to watch the price structure very carefully, especially after the next high. And now, let's zoom in. And also, it allows you to understand that if we are in the white wave count, basically 36 cents is just the minimum expectation. Yeah, I mean, the 1.618 extension level for a C wave is not unlikely. And then we talk about $3 suddenly, okay? So let's zoom in and take a look at the 4-hour chart. Here you can see what I mean with one more high, the yellow wave count. I'm currently only showing a micro count for the yellow count because it's so simple. With the white count, it's literally just another higher low and another higher high afterwards. So we want to keep the chart obviously clean, not to confuse you, and therefore I only show this micro count. At the moment, they are both basically mirror counts. They will only diverge from each other after this high. So at the moment, it seems like that we are obviously in this fifth wave in the yellow count. In that fifth wave, we're looking for an ABC structure because we're dealing with a larger diagonal. The A wave has been done, the B wave has been done, and the C wave is unfolding right now. The C wave is a 5-wave move, and we completed already the wave 1, the wave 2, the wave 3, possibly, and now we're watching for wave 4 and then another high in wave 5. This would be ideal. And
that'd be cool. It'll only be 10 cents.
If we say, okay, we are now in wave 4,
maybe
then you need to understand that the support area that is relevant is between 7.8 cents and 11 cents.
Which
a
makes
break
sense.
below 7.8 cents would mean that we have put some kind of a substantial top already a little earlier than expected. Because at the moment, it seems like that one more high is missing here in this C wave of the fifth wave. And only below 7.8 cents, yeah, something different might be going on. I would then prepare for a retest of the 5.3 cent level. But until then, another high is expected. And the next targets to the upside are 16.1 cents and even 25.5. So 25.5 is certainly one key level to watch. Okay.
That would be a nice jump. Shout out to this guy, Mr. More Crypto. Yeah, More Crypto Online is his name, actually. I have a full description in the link. Sorry, I have a full channel link to in the description below to his channel. So go check him out. This is the main reason I wanted to make sure I was on time today, because I want to watch this. This is a 30-minute clip from Mr. Crypto Zombie where he actually talks about a lot of stuff. And there is a lot of people talking about a lot of stuff in this about, you know, crypto or Bitcoin technically going to $1 million and reasons as to why, which is kind of neat. And it was I don't know, it was kind of eye-opening, but is it going to happen? Who knows? Real quick, let me just answer some questions in the chat. So TGIG said, how did you find out that your power rate was going up? So I opted in, like here in Massachusetts where I am, you can shop half of your bill. So we got a 10-cent electric rate on one half of the bill, right, where it's locked in for that supply half. But we got a notification that it's going to be like, here are the new rates, and, you know, sign up if you want to lock in for whatever. And it's like 15 cents now. So realistically, you know, 14 or 14 something on the other side, and then 14 something on this side, it's going to be close to 30 cents by the time it's all said and done. So that's how I ended up finding out it was going to be going up. We have Chris Hanley said it will go back up with all the machines being turned on. He's talking about Kaspa. Look at when the price dropped. It was when Ice River shut off and sold tokens. Any thoughts? Yeah, so I mean, the more hash rate that comes into the network, typically the less profitable it is for everybody, but the stronger the network gets. So it's like a double-edged sword, at least in my opinion. I don't know as far as them selling coins. I thoroughly believe that they were mining at their facility with all of our machines. Then they're gonna unplug them. You know, I understand they got to test them, but you know, they clearly kept them on for quite some time. We showed it yesterday. The hash rate dropped and they shut off. They said their facility went down, which I don't believe. I really do think that they just took out our machines, shipped them, took in the next batch, and plugged them all in. And they're gonna leave them up for like a week or two, and then they're gonna unplug them and do the same thing, rinse and repeat. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be a couple weeks of testing, at least in my opinion, what they're doing over there. But anyways, yeah, it's I think the price is gonna go up, only because, like, well, all right, so Kaspa has a great utility, right? It's super fast. When I used it, as soon as I used it, I understood how important this coin actually was versus just any other crypto. They do have their Rust thing coming up, right? Their new Rust, I don't even know what it is. What do you call it? Is it like a algo change or something? I don't even know, but I have to look into it more. They have that coming up shortly, so that's a big thing, right, for the whole development team. And then yeah, Binance. Andrew Masad, it's Binance, it's not Binance. All right, Binance, them listing it was a big deal, but they're also still not on Coinbase. And there is somebody that actually does talk about Kaspa and Coinbase, I guess. I don't know. You know what? There was another guy. Who was it? You know what? Let's listen to this before we get into Crypto Zombie. Let's see this right here. So this is I've never heard of this guy. This is the one I was talking about, the 2-bit crypto. I totally forgot I had his video. So let's jump into this. Guy's got about 20,000 subs. I put a link to his channel down in the description below. Go check him out if you guys would. Let's see what he has to say about crypto in the market as of right now. And again, he talks about Kaspa, and he mentioned something about Coinbase, and I really didn't get to catch it, but let's see what he has to say.
Now, we're having a pretty good time going into the weekend. Once again, we see a positive move for Bitcoin and the overall market, up 1.42%, around that $1.44 trillion market cap. Interestingly, volume up nearly 18%, around 52 million. And you can see Bitcoin hovering around that 37.7. Now, we broke 38.2 earlier with a significant push, but then we came back down. Remember, sometimes consolidation has to happen in order for us to then start the next leg. And that, in my opinion, is exactly where we are with Kaspa. Now, the currently 28th highest ranked cryptocurrency is picking up volume quite significantly, broke the $3 trillion market cap number. And you can see here, just if we go into the last month,
which is crazy,
the significant uptrend, 183% up on the last year, 1,714%. So what's going on? What is going on with Kaspa? Why is it so important? Well, ultimately, the team have been working.
Wait, real quick. Does Rust make it faster? Is that what it's supposed to be? Code language change. That's what it is. Rust is a faster model. Thank you, Crypto KJ. Because as soon as I said that, I was like, wait, I don't think that's actually what's happening. Yeah, it's supposed to make it faster. What is it, like a ridiculous amount of blocks per second? I forget how many it is, but it's like it's insanely fast, way faster than it already is, and it's already disgustingly fast.
Incredibly hard, whether that's be building bridges or launching on new exchanges. Now, remember, the more volume that comes in, ultimately it's one step closer to that massive Binance or even Coinbase listing. And I'm going to give you some absolutely fantastic alpha news on Coinbase at the end of this video. So
there it is. You mentioned the Coinbase real quick. All right, so 32 blocks per second. Right now they're at like 10, right? 10 blocks a second. 32 blocks a second. Can you imagine how fast that coin will be? That's absurd.
Have a build out on the Kaspa bridges, both to Polygon and BNB. So continuing the scalability of this ultimate layer one.
Neat.
And again, just ensuring that a number of different communities and sidechains can be involved. It says Kaspa is venturing into exciting new frontiers by introducing wrapped Kaspa, WKAS, to the vibrant.
Oh, gotcha, DJ Mine. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause that again. He said it's 1 block a second right now, so he said 10 soonish. Oh, 10's being tested, right? Is that what it is? And 32 on, or he said 10 soonish. 32 is being tested. So 32 is the Rust, but what do you mean 10 soonish? I thought they were up to upwards of 10 right now. I could be mistaken.
Blockchain ecosystem of Polygon and BNB. The advancement brought about by the expertise of Cheng Finance is a significant milestone in Kaspa's evolution within the DeFi realm, bringing on a new era of blockchain integration and interoperability. And again, this important part of building bridges, using multiple chains, this will just become a thing. And ultimately, if you don't launch on multiple chains and don't be able to bridge between the 2 or 3, then ultimately people are just going to go elsewhere. So why have they done it? Well, ultimately, the integration with Polygon and BNB networks provides users access to a more diverse and dynamic DeFi landscape. And it's not just about having more options, it's about the quality and variety of those options. Users of Kaspa and those already on the Polygon and BNB networks can now tap into different functionalities and experiences. And this is the important part. As you operate in different chains, it means you can get access to certain different aspects, dApps, NFT projects, whatever it is, just opens up that interoperability, the opportunity for people to get onto different chains. Now, again, it says here, wrapping up, Kaspa's foray into the Polygon and BNB network marks the beginning of an exciting journey into the DeFi landscape. This expansion not only opens up the realm of new opportunities for exploration and innovation, but it also paves the way for growth and more robust community bonds. And remember, they're already working on smart contracts, already working on NFT potentials. Again, this is absolutely a fantastic layer one, represented both in the price and equally the consistent drive from that community. So what else have we got going on? Well, in other big news, and I think this is a definite big step in the right direction, we have the ETF, but for Europe, these are called ETPs, exchange traded products, and ultimately Kaspa will be going to launch on one of those. Again, I think it's a very big step in the right direction. FINRA will be launching the ETP. And again, it's a opportunity for Kaspa to ultimately get into a different market. And again, for people to invest with a sense of security on the back of it. And I think, again, a lot of people aren't talking about this, but this will come soon. We'll keep you up to date. So again, make sure you subscribe so you know exactly what's going on. But again, these are similar to ETFs that you get in the US, but these are going to be ETPs here in Europe. And ultimately, then Kaspa will be forming part of one of these. So it's a huge step. I don't remember.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal, actually. Real quick, so just to clarify in the chat, like I was saying, so DJ Mine says right now it's 1 block per second, 10 is coming soon. So apparently they've already tested the 10 blocks per second, and as of right now, they're testing the 32 blocks per second, and that is going to be the Rust upgrade, if I'm not mistaken.
Something as innovative and early as Kaspa getting anything like this. So it can only drive adoption and excitement. And ultimately, those two things really start to give you a significant step up in the market. That's not all. Now, remember, we talked about this the last video talking about Kaspa's partnership with Uphold. We see it with XRP. Kaspa also integrated into their wallet in which you can use Apple Pay. But since then, and this is the bit I want to bring, if you look on their socials, what do you have? They had a great video from DJ Waters talking a bit about Kaspa and what it was. Then
you mentioned DJ. There he is. That was actually a great video, by the way.
And we get into some listings. So CoinStash AU is listing Kaspa. So again, one other. We then come a little bit further up and we see BTSE is now listing Kaspa as well on perpetual futures, as did Binance. And finally, a Calab and Brown listing once again. Now, you might be thinking, hold on a minute, 2Bit. This isn't these big exchanges. And you'd be right. But what it is doing is create awareness. It's creating volume. And ultimately will end up being on these big exchanges. So again, every little helps. Drive volume, drive awareness, drive new holders into it can only ultimately be a good thing. And equally, when you look at them, it's very strategic of where they are in the world to allow maximum number of people to invest in this project. So before we go into the price right now, there is also something that isn't being talked about in the background of Kaspa, and that is how it all came about. Now, we know what it is and ultimately what it's bringing, but in the early phase to seed Kaspa, it was actually brought by an ex-colleague or employee of Coinbase. They actually provided the initial seeding for Kaspa. Does that mean in the long term that Kaspa could end up on Coinbase? Well, at this rate, it would be hard to say no. So what's going on in the charts?
Could you imagine what Kaspa would do if it actually got to Coinbase?
From the 15-minute, you can see following this really nice pattern on the uptrend and currently hovering around that 141406 range and actually printing a very nice little green candle. Now, on the slightly higher time frame, you know we like to check the 4-hour. Again, looking very strong. Broke out from that downward trend. We talked about this on the live stream and said expect a pretty strong move. I am still in that world. We probably have the higher range of about 145 to break through, so I expect us to come and test. We may get a slight rejection down. If we were to coming down to this kind of bottom range around the 139, 140, then with a potential bounce, we could even just go straight through this and continue up to these local all-time highs that we had around 154. But right now, Kaspa is looking fantastic in terms of this trend upwards. and even the metrics, you start to see these lower time frames are spreading out, which ultimately tells us in the shorter time frame we are getting a more bullish move. These slightly higher time frames, again, not quite as quick, but still significantly looking very, very good for Kaspa. So as always, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Kaspa?
Huge shout out to this guy, 2-Bit Crypto. It's actually the first time I've ever seen his channel, so I subscribed this morning. Guys, go check him out. Links in the description below. And he mentioned my buddy DJ, so shout out to this guy. All right, now we're gonna get into Crypto Zombies video real quick. Before we do that though, we have let me see, where was it? I just got a question. MC Crypto Junkie said, when do your sweaters from your shop usually ship? So it's a company that does everything. So they print, they ship, they do everything. Like, I don't hold any material or have anything to do with it. Actually, I just design the products. They, you know, print them and get them out to you guys. So typically it's about a week and a half or so before I got my sweatshirt. If I had to guess, that'd probably be a good time frame, about a week and a half. But yeah, if you guys are interested, there is a crypto merch thing right here. That was very hard to figure out where it was, but it's also in the link in the description below. All right, let's get into this. Let's see what Mr. Crypto Zombie has to say. Again, this is people talking about Bitcoin possibly going to 1 million and reasons and math actually as to why. So let's do it.
If the thesis I outlined plays out, where people like Brad start to take profits at 150K, 200K, whatever it is, right? And then, you know, we see a reduction in Bitcoin and then it comes roaring back and people are going, oh shit, this is the moment. It's going to $1 million. I got to get back in. We could actually legitimately see it take a run at $1 million. So my prediction is we are going to see the diminished return bubble get popped, the belief get popped, and then we're going to see Bitcoin take a run legitimately at $1 million this time around in 2025, 2026.
Wow. What? Dang. That would be sick. I had to turn this down. It's so loud. What the fuck? What? I didn't see that. That's funny.
What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. For everyone in the US celebrating, hope you had a nice holiday. Hope you're not getting
DJ Mine says, what color crack pipe does he have? Probably like a burnt blue, probably.
Trampled on for some TVs over in some Black Friday deals. You know, it can get a little bit crazy, but that being said, it was nice to see the family and talk about the nice price action that's been going on for Bitcoin. And you can see right here that we are in fact still attempting to push up out of this area. Now, why this is so important, again, we were discussing that we have been in this upwards parallel channel for about it's like 18 months or at least a year and a half or something. I'd have to, you know, count all the bars, but you can see that every other time we got up here, swift rejection, right? We just got those quick wicks to the downside and then we would fall down, right? Same thing. We got that quick wick. We didn't even get up to it this time. And right now you could see that we're actually attempting to put some sort of solid body candles right on that area. Now,
so real quick, I know you guys are like $1 million, no way. Like, it's crazy, right? But it's very neat. I did watch the section right here. I know you guys know this guy, or you might. I don't know if you know this guy or not, but this guy right here, we've heard him talk before, and he actually explains it very well right here. So it's coming up soon.
I was discussing in my video yesterday that we are looking for some potential volatility, and I said if we didn't get it today, we are most likely going to get it Monday or Tuesday. So make sure that you guys stick around because I do want to go into that. And another thing which has been creating some crazy buzz all over the internet right now is this tweet from Samson Mao. And he says the approval of a spot ETF would send Bitcoin to $1 million per coin over a few days. Gary and the SEC don't want to be the ones responsible for sending Bitcoin to the moon. Now, when you first read this tweet, you're saying to yourself, this is obviously some sensationalization. You know what I meant? Kind of like Balaji was doing, right? Where he was saying that Bitcoin could go to $1 million. But it's actually really strange because there's two charts that we've looked at on this channel which are showing us some really interesting things. Now, if you were going to ask me if I think Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million in a few days, I would just, based on my experience, flat out say no, right? I mean, that just doesn't seem logical for something to move that fast, that quick. But I do want to dive into that today because you are going to be absolutely shocked when I play this video clip for you and when you run the math and when you consider what's going on right now, you actually start to almost question yourself. So You got to stick around for this. It's really really incredible. We're going to talk about that, guys. And also, speaking about the move that we got over here on Bitcoin, we also got the move over on Ethereum. And again, if anyone was over in the free Discord right now that MetaSignals has, they did actually have this potential long that came out on the 6 hour. And as you guys can see right here, we not only cleared all three of the targets, but again, we even wicked outside the box. So yet again, MetaSignals has called literally another alert that played out perfectly. And again, if you guys are over in that Discord, I do just want to remind you that this morning they did go.
God, I hate NFTs. I'm skipping this. Sorry, I have to skip that. I can't stand NFTs. They're just a scam.
Situation
100%.
with, you can see digital asset news, money flooding into crypto now, braced for a huge multi-trillion-dollar Wall Street earthquake, right? And then again, we have this tweet from Samson Mao. Now, he then followed it up. There was some criticism, right? So he says in 2017, it took 9 months for Bitcoin to go from $1,000 to $20,000. The block subsidy was 12.5. There was a lot more Bitcoin sloshing around on the exchanges. Mining was boiling the oceans, and there was zero institutional money coming in. And with just retail capital alone, for the most part, we were able to go from 1,000 to 20,000. So he's saying if we had Bitcoin around $50,000, a 20x from there would be 1 million. Now, obviously, going from 1,000 to 20,000 doesn't involve as much capital as going from 500,000 to 1 million. I think that's pretty easy to understand when you have a look at this, right? But obviously, a lot of people were jumping on this wagon, and that's where this clip sort of surfaced.
If the thesis I outlined plays out, where people like Brad start to take profits at 150K, 200K, whatever it is, right? And then, we see a reduction in Bitcoin, and then it comes roaring back, and people are going, oh shit, this is the moment. It's going to $1 million. I got to get back in. We could actually legitimately see it take a run at $1 million. So my prediction is we are going to see the diminished return bubble get popped, the belief get popped, and then we're going to see Bitcoin take a run legitimately at $1 million this time around in 2025, 2026.
Wow.
Damn.
Nice.
But again, is that really even still possible? Well, we've already gone over the market cap sort of fallacy, right? How you don't really, like if you want to move price $1, you don't actually need $1, right? Because it's obviously just, to put it really simple, circulating supply multiplied by the last price bought or sold, right? Oversimplifying it, but essentially that's how you calculate market cap. And we decided that to move Bitcoin between, it was like $3.20 to $4 or something, you only need about $1. So each dollar can actually move the price $3 to potentially $4. Okay, so we got that out of the way. This right here is what we spoke about, was the percent of supply last active. And I showed you over on Glassnode, but I didn't have the updated chart. This right here shows you that it's at 70%, which is the highest level we've ever seen. Okay, so this is showing you, number one, that people just aren't looking to sell right now, right? So that's just one thing we have to consider. And we're going to get to the math in a bit, but let's just start small here. Another thing to consider is Bitcoin reserve ratio, US versus offshore. Now, we have noticed that in the past, there tends to be a bit of a run-up in this pre-sort of accumulation phase. And then when we have the blast off, we see that it starts to taper down, right? And we saw a very similar thing right here back in 2020. But as you guys can see right here, I'm probably in the way. The question is, are we starting to have that curve back up like we have seen in the past? Or is it just going to keep moving to the downside this time? Well, if we had the curve to the upside, we could say, hey, the cycle is repeating itself again. But on the flip side, if we don't really get any significant movement to the upside, this could also be explaining to us that, potentially, even though this is the ratio US versus offshore, at the same time, we have seen the lowest levels on exchanges that we've ever seen. Even all the, some of the coins that got taken off Binance, they actually did move over to Coinbase. But again, where are they going to be getting this Bitcoin from? Where is Wall Street going to be buying this Bitcoin from? Okay, that is the biggest question that I have. Then you have the halving, right? Obviously,
I'm going to be honest, that's a big question I have too, because they're going to have to buy the Bitcoin from somewhere. They can't just offer you an ETF and have nothing to back it by. You know what I mean?
Supply is, the distribution is getting cut in half. ETF approval, creating this demand, right? So this is where I wanted to turn it over, to my good old buddy British Hodl. You guys remember we had that video where he was talking about the importance of the ETF. He actually made a reply to the haters of this $1 million Bitcoin price prediction, and he actually took it mathematically and explained whether or not
He really does make some sense.
it is actually possible. And I definitely think you're going to want to stick around for this clip.
You would need a cash injection of roughly $180 billion, right? $180 billion of cash injection coming in order to get to that multiplier level. Now, this doesn't assume, this assumes that, you know, there is no increase or change in the multiplier. This is basically assuming that the multiplier stays static. And as you've seen now, as I hope you've been watching my videos after you subscribe to my channel, like, the market doesn't stay static. During the fake ETF tweet by Cointelegraph, the market was up way more than that 118 multiplier inside of 30 minutes. And I think some of you managed to get some evidence of how this actually works, you know? So in the real world, rather than just listening to these people that like writing lines on charts. So you see now it works. It can go up and it can come down, right? And so if we did $180 billion, it's actually $178 billion, right, of capital inflow coming in to take the price to 21 trillion. Well, 180 billion is not going to probably move in on day one, right? It's probably not going to move in on day one. But if we have a look at, you know, what happens if that comes in the first year, right? What happens if, we'll get to the incentives in a second, but that it works out to, you know, there's 252 trading days in a year. So you're looking at $706 million of daily purchasing coming in order to make this happen in the first year, right? And you go, okay, cool. So what would be the equilibrium? What would be needed to come in to move the equilibrium price of Bitcoin to that? And the way we work that out, just loose balling it here, right? If we take $1 million per Bitcoin and divide it by, say, 30,000, it's a 33 times increase, which means that if there's $25 million a day coming in right now, right, you would need, assuming this moves in a linear fashion, you'd need $825 million a day worth of purchasing coming in. And if that happened in a single day, the price of Bitcoin would hit $1 million a coin. It does not need to be fully injected for that to happen. As long as that demand stays consistent, $800 million a day coming in to stay consistent, Bitcoin will be moving to $1 million a coin faster than anyone can think, especially the doom and gloom boomer traders who want to write lines on charts and talk about being in cash positions. By the way, my friend Teddy made a good point. He said that the next cycle is going to be filled with a bunch of Bitcoin bears talking about the fact that I still own a substantial amount of Bitcoin, even though they're sitting 80% in cash, holding their dick in their hands, right? That's basically what's going to happen here. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to profess to know about what's coming, tell you that the market's going to collapse and we're going to go into a bear cycle and all this other stuff, and then Bitcoin's going to go vertical, and then they're going to say, I still own a substantial amount of Bitcoin. Yeah, but you could own a way more substantial amount of Bitcoin than you do if you had just pulled your head out of your backside, right? That's the real problem is. So I want to make it clear, you don't need that much capital going into Bitcoin in order for Bitcoin's equilibrium price to move to $1 million a coin. And then here's the other point. As that move happens, less and less people want to sell because they think it's going to keep going up and up and up. So if
that's actually super true, because it's happening with Kaspa, right? Don't you guys feel that? Anybody that's into Kaspa, tell me that's not true. You guys just think it's going to continuously go up, and that's why most of us aren't selling. That's why it's still pushing super hard, you know?
Bitcoin goes from 30,000 to 70,000 in a day, right? Then suddenly the people who were thinking about selling are going, wait, let's see how far this goes. Now it goes from 70,000 to 110,000. Now more people are like, I need to get in because I'm going to miss out. So now the FOMO kicks in.
Facts.
The FOMO kicks in. People start withdrawing their Bitcoin away from exchanges so they can't sell it. And all of that kicks in. And who's incentivized to do this? BlackRock. Because what's better for BlackRock than launching a fund, and on the day that the fund launches, the asset price doubles and their fees double. So now
listen to this.
Now all of their employees are happy because their employees are making fees. Their fees have just gone up. The clients are happy, the initial ones who got in, and you can use it as a sales tactic. Hey, we called you last time before it started trading. You said no. Now you're an idiot because the price has just gone from 35 to 70. Do you want to get in now before it goes to 110?
And that's when the FOMO happens. That's when the real FOMO happens.
Then their clients are going to say yes.
It's not
So
wrong at
it's
all.
there. People are incentivized to move the price of Bitcoin up. I know there's a lot of $1,000 net worthers that think BlackRock is incentivized to move the price down, but it makes no logical sense. They make percentage-based fees off the dollar value of the asset. So therefore, the higher the dollar value of the asset, the more successful their launch is, the more successful their business is, and the more money they can pay out to their team. And again, you only need $800 million a day of purchasing, right? That might sound like a lot to you if you're sitting there with, you know, $1 million net worth. But in the grand scheme of things, that's really nothing if the money starts flowing very, very rapidly. Do I think it's going to take a couple days to move to $1 million a coin? No, I don't. But is it possible? Absolutely.
So I've been saying for a long time that we could see a $1 million Bitcoin in our lifetime.
What do you guys think? How do you feel about that guy, the British HODL? It really wasn't. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense as to why BlackRock would continue to push it.
And, you know, it does sound crazy. It sounds crazy to say we're going to see that in a couple days of an ETF launch, right? No, I personally think that that's a little insane. But at the same time, you know, you look at the TA and, you know, obviously it helps us. It shows us levels. But when it...
Real quick, for the record, I don't think it's going to go to $1 million in this cycle. I'm just saying, in general, he made very good points. Regardless of the actual price prediction endpoint, they were all very good points.
Comes to the realistic possible demand of this sort of outlier when you have countries adopting Bitcoin. And remember how, you know, young and new Bitcoin is, right? It's only 15 years old. Most people don't have Bitcoin. The majority of the world does not have any Bitcoin. You know, there are still people that don't even really understand it or know what it does. Most of Wall Street is still somewhat confused about it, looking at it still as this speculative asset, speculative play. And, you know,
speaking of that, actually, I've been waiting for DJ Mines to take his little freaking toothpick microphone and walk around and ask people in the mall, have you heard of Bitcoin? Have you heard of Bitcoin? I want a tally sheet. I want a pie chart of how many people actually told you they know what Bitcoin is versus the amount of people that don't. I would love to know the stats on that because I still think that there's a lot of people that don't even know what it is.
You know, again, this big conspiracy to crash the price, as British HODL pointed out, it just wouldn't make sense. And you're seeing these metrics, you're seeing these signals, you're seeing these indicators. One indicator I'm going to show you is borderline almost.
Listen, DJ, he said his wife wouldn't record. She's too shy. I will pay your kid for you to record for you. Maybe like use like your GoPro or something. Don't give him the big camera. But just in general, it would be a great idea, dude. It would really be a good video, and you're the perfect person to do it. At least in my opinion.
Almost flipped 100% bullish at this point. And then you also read these articles and they explain that investors are returning to the crypto markets, particularly large digital asset funds encouraged by the possibility of the ETF. This product could entice traditional investors to cryptocurrency in a controlled manner. According to CoinShares, crypto products saw a $176 million inflow just last week alone. And if you don't want to just take this, I can tell you personally, I speak to OTC desks. I know the guys that run it. And I just had a conversation with one of these guys. It was like a week ago I was talking to him. And
you know, real quick, Fully Electric just made a good point. He said, yes, 90% don't know. He said, okay, we get that, but even this cycle, next cycle, we will still not be at 100% adoption. Yeah, no, I totally agree. There is 100% chance that we're not going to be 100% adopted when it comes to Bitcoin, but it is going to reach out to so many more people because the ETF, like being able to put Bitcoin in your portfolio, right, for your like retirement fund and stuff, that's the biggest part of this entire ETF thing getting approved, at least for me. Like that's the eye opener here. You know, again, at least in my my opinion.
says they've been putting in 16-hour days at the office. The demand has been absolutely insane, and they've been having difficulty sourcing liquidity for large trades. And the ETF is not even approved yet. So when you have these big guys that are coming in that are trying to buy, multiple $1 million worth of Bitcoin, they're not able to OTC it immediately. They actually have to, take their time, source it a little bit longer. So Caroline Bowler, the head of BTC Markets, also highlighted a discernible shift towards an optimistic market sentiment throughout the year, marked by a broad recovery that initiated in January. So again, an influx of new users and an uptick in trading volume further support our assessment that we're in early stages of a bull market, right? You got Hong Kong approving their first licensed LLC to offer crypto services. This is the first traditional securities company to offer services over in Hong Kong, okay? And then you got this guy over here. Now, again, there were people that
this is the Argentina. Yeah, he just won the presidential election. He's the new guy, even though he's got like Harry Potter glasses.
Saying, Javier Milei, it's all just smoke and mirrors. He's not really going to do what he says. He said right now, he doesn't care what people want to use. If you want to use gold, if you want to use Bitcoin, if you want to use Tether, he says people should be free to transact in whatever currency they choose. And it says that he's promised to blow the political establishment up, disband the central bank, and dollarize the economy in the face of catastrophic hyperinflation. And earlier this year, he said that Bitcoin represents the return of money to its original creator. Well, guess what? He's only been in office for just a short time, and you already have the closure of the central bank is non-negotiable. So he's already looking to do this, okay? He's already looking to do what he says he's going to do. So all of this tying into this global adoption of Bitcoin, right? The understanding of the erosion of your savings through inflation and other measures. Are people really going to still go into these like treasury bonds and things over these years? They can't outpace inflation. Bitcoin is looking like a better choice over and over and over again. So what about the realistic assessment, okay? Well, if we take out all of these crazy outliers and we just look at this CryptoCon log curves extended.
This is way more reasonable. 180K, top of this rainbow chart.
Now, this is, I would say, arguably one of the most accurate ones to date. I mean, you could see that it does, in fact, embrace every bottom and every top pretty much. It even kind of called the double top, if you want to give them props over there. And if we just look at some of these bands, it's very likely that we'll at least get to the first of the red band. I mean,
I wonder what happened here. Does anybody know? What is this? This is 20... I guess that would be between like mid 2015, 2016. What was this where it dipped below? If anybody knows that, let me know. Was that like a Black Swan event or something?
Some people say, diminishing returns. Maybe we don't go to the top this time. But you could see, if you look at these projections just out here, for example, you have, and then, I don't know why this is the date. Is this by the top? Oh, the assumption of the cycle top. Well, I mean, you could see the low case for Bitcoin is around 94,000. The medium case is around 130, and the bullish case is around 180,000. And keep in mind, these are pretty much based on projections where we didn't have ETFs. We didn't have tons of, capital flowing into crypto from all these other places. We didn't have countries adopting it as currency. These were just average retail people just buying and selling the cycles, right? And again, we have a lot of those holders. So, going back to this right here, we are at a very critical level, and to be honest, I'm always skeptical about weekend price action. I don't trust the weekends. I know Bitcoin trades 24/7, but it tends to do some silly things on the weekends. A lot of times you'll see a big move, and then come Monday, it'll completely retrace. Or the other, it'll dump over the weekend, and then come Monday, it just pumps right back up to the price, right? So always be skeptical about the weekend moves for Bitcoin, but you can see that if we break out of this, that's a pretty bullish break. I mean, could we have a retest down again? Yeah, that's possible. In fact, I said that it might have even been healthy to come down at least to...
Actually, we probably will retest looking at this band. Typically, like this what's it called, EMA band or whatever the hell it's called. It's kind of like a magnet, right? When the candles get too far away from it, it typically does come back to it. Like either this goes straight up to it or this comes down to it. You know what I mean? That's typically how it is. Like you can see, it's kind of like it just hovers. It kind of pulls it back in. That's how it works. So I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a downturn.
To this, kind of try to retest this band, this EMA ribbon. But again, looking historically,
chart,
when we flip this RSI above 70, and when we start really, rock and rolling above these bands, they tend to flip and stay for a very, very long time, and they tend to act as the support. Obviously, right here, we start getting into some turmoil. When you start falling below it, that's kind of when you want to start.
See, right here is a good example. If you look at this one, see how it's kind of like, it's a bit away here, but it always kind of either goes sideways, or you'll see a spike back down to it. Like, it'll come back down to get closer. That's pretty much what we're seeing now. If it continues to rise, then whatever. But again, this is the weekly chart, so it's kind of it's not like it's going to play out fast or anything.
Maybe saying, hey, the top could be close. And I mean, this thing is like basically flipping. I mean, I'm trying
to. We do have the white swan event, right? Technically, the ETF. That's what you'd call it, the white swan event. It'd be a good thing for crypto, not a bad thing, at least in my opinion.
Look really close right here. It might be on the last of the EMA. You can see the 89 touching the red. But yeah, I mean, guys, this thing is going to flip probably next week. And historically speaking, that's usually it. So unless history just completely.
So what he was just talking about is this white line right here. If you guys can see that. It basically goes from the top to the bottom. It just kind of pinches, twists around, and then basically holds up the market until we actually get the actual rise. So we'll see what happens, I guess.
Just doesn't do what it does. I mean, or, some catastrophe. This thing looks like we should be either chugging along sideways in some accumulation or potential move to the upside. Again,
All right, I'm going to stop there. Huge shout out to Crypto Zombie. Let's get into Mr. Altcoin Daily's video. So this is Will Binance Survive in 2024? This is with Coin Bureau, Mr. Guy over there. Guys, hit that like button. 150 people here, 64 likes. You guys are lazy on Saturday. Killing me. Appreciate you all. Let's get into this.
The thing with CZ was that he was a coder. He was a software engineer who, basically built Binance up from nothing. You think Binance is powerful. I mean, BlackRock is next level, isn't it? This is probably the
BlackRock is like the mafia when it comes to anything money.
Right time for a change of leadership. The landscape has changed a lot.
Today I sit down with crypto expert Guy Turner, host and founding member of Coin Bureau, and get his take on the recent Binance government crackdown, how this changes crypto, as well as his outlook for the BNB token into 2024. Watch the whole video.
It's been, there have been question marks hanging over Binance for a long, long time. And I think everything that's happened in the past sort of 24 hours, obviously all these US agencies sort of coming out yesterday, or today, your time, and announcing all these things that Binance has supposedly done, and this massive, I think it's $4.3 billion fine, which is pretty hefty. So yeah,
it's pretty hefty for normal people, but no problem for them.
I mean, I think it's I think it's a good thing, really, because there've been so many question marks hanging over Binance. And I think this is a good opportunity for, to kind of close that chapter. And that is good for crypto, really. I think we can all benefit from that, because I think Binance has always been, or certainly for a long time, been, one of these things kind of lurking beneath the surface that may or may not, pop up and be a black swan all of a sudden. So I think this is a positive thing.
This has been a dark cloud looming over Binance for the last year. I agree. It is a good thing to kind of just let, we can move on. Binance pays the fine, CZ steps down. Does that cause fear in terms of like the success of Binance without its leader CZ in your mind?
No, not at all. I think Richard Teng, who's stepping into CZ's shoes, is a really, really experienced guy. He's got a very impressive CV. He was working he was chief regulatory officer at the Singapore Exchange for I think about sort of 7 years.
I wouldn't want that job.
He was CEO of Abu Dhabi Global Markets. He's a TradFi guy. He's got a lot of experience in that field. He's well connected. He's very personable. He's a great guy. I've met him and chatted with him a couple of times. In fact, I interviewed him in Singapore at Token 2049. And
so that's the new CEO of Binance right there.
He's a really good guy, I think. And I think he is the right person to sort of take Binance forward from now. And I should say that's not to, throw any shade on CZ. I think the thing with CZ was that he was a he was a coder. He was a software engineer who basically built Binance up from nothing, and sort of found himself in this position of being the CEO of the biggest crypto exchange in the world. They kind of had to make it up as they went along, in a sense, because this was new territory. This was uncharted territory for everyone involved. And so I think, CZ found himself sort of thrust into this role. I can't speak for him. I don't know whether that's something that he necessarily wanted or ever dreamed of for himself, but nevertheless, that's how it turned out. And I think he did an amazing job of bringing Binance to where it is now, still the biggest exchange in the world. But I think, this is probably...
Hold on. Quick news update. Fully Electric just said Zeph is having a pullback. Get out if you're still holding it.
The right time for a change of leadership. The landscape has changed a lot in the last few years since Binance launched. Crypto is a very different industry now, and I think Richard Teng is a good person to take Binance forward into the sort of next phase of their evolution. So I think it's good for Binance, and as I said, that's good for crypto as well.
There's a rumor going around that some of this was planned. BlackRock took down Binance in order to clear the way for a spot Bitcoin ETF. What are your thoughts?
I believe it.
I mean, I like a good conspiracy theory as much as anyone. So I don't know. Who knows? Like BlackRock, you think Binance is powerful. I mean, BlackRock is next level, isn't it?
BlackRock, if you guys don't know, they run shit. I don't care what anybody says or what FUD they spread. Like, I'm sorry, BlackRock is literally like, they are the government.
And yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that's, as I understand it, has sort of always held back spot ETF applications is this idea of a lot of, Bitcoin trading volume being on, quote unquote offshore exchanges, in US terms. So Binance is definitely falls into that bucket. So I think that was possibly always a concern for the SEC. I mean, the SEC just doesn't like Binance, full stop. So yeah, could BlackRock have made this happen? It's not beyond the realms of possibility. I mean, there would be some pretty big 3D chess going on there if that was the case. But I mean, look, BlackRock is very powerful. BlackRock has the ear of people in these agencies and in government as well. So who knows? I wouldn't rule.
All right, guys, listen. Like BlackRock in general, again, they're gonna protect their golden child, which would be Coinbase, because Coinbase helps the government and gonna be helping BlackRock custody their Bitcoin, right? So they're gonna protect them. They don't want Binance in the way, because guess what? If people are going to Binance in the US to purchase Bitcoin, they ain't going through BlackRock or Coinbase. That's pretty much how it is. So I mean, it's proof's in the pudding, at least in my opinion, but I don't know. I don't find it out of the realm of possibilities that BlackRock was responsible for more or less pushing this on Binance.
Yeah, put it like that.
Some people are saying that, well, number one, this is the fact. BlackRock, Vanguard, they're investors in Coinbase. Number two, the SEC has given this. BlackRock is not the first spot Bitcoin ETF application. There's been applications for years, not by BlackRock, but the note has always been there's too much manipulation in the Bitcoin market, leading to the speculation. Well, if the largest exchange is offshore and we don't know what's going on behind closed doors of that exchange, Binance, then Binance has to lose heavy market share in order for a spot Bitcoin ETF to come into fruition. Does this make you more bullish on the spot Bitcoin ETF?
I mean, I'm bullish enough on the spot ETF, I think. I think it will come. Because I don't know how much this is going to necessarily affect Binance's market share. This is it's a massive fine that Binance has to pay for $4.3 billion. That is a heck of a lot of money, even for even for an entity such as Binance. But whether that affects its market share, I don't know, because it already doesn't really have a US presence. Obviously, the US market is huge, but Binance has, a pretty strong presence across much of the rest of the world. And perhaps this, these recent developments might be enough for other jurisdictions to go, well, look, Binance settled with the US. As far as we're concerned, this sort of cloud has been lifted. That could pave the way for for Binance to make up market share in those other jurisdictions. It could also increase consumer confidence. Users might be like, well, now that this isn't now that the US authorities aren't sort of circling Binance anymore, and this thing has presumably been resolved, that might make them more confident to trade on the exchange. So I don't think this is necessarily the the moment where Binance starts to lose massive market share. I mean, it has lost market share over the last year or so, but it's still the biggest by a fair margin as well. And so I think, I think that's definitely worth bearing in mind. But having said that, I still think the ETFs are more likely than not to be approved regardless.
I think in a lot of ways, CZ stepping down, paying the fine, just getting this over with, allowed Binance to dodge a bullet. It's like, let's all move on from this. Yet markets are emotionally driven, and the BNB token was tanking today on the news. What's your outlook for the BNB token in general looking forward?
I mean, as with all exchange tokens, it kind of rises or falls with the exchange in question. I think it did recently get overtaken by XRP, didn't it? Briefly, XRP sort of went higher by market cap. But I think BNB
is not going to go anywhere. I mean, if the FTT token's still around, BNB is not going anywhere.
I would imagine that the outlook is still pretty good for it. I imagine that Binance's trading volume will remain high, even if it does fall a bit. And like all exchange tokens, I mean, there's always this kind of business. Binance can mint or burn as many as they like. So I think Binance will be able to keep BNB ticking along fairly okay. Is how I see it panning out.
We don't have to get too deep into this, but what are the best exchange tokens? Honestly, the only reason you need to have them is if you're using the exchange. It's often cheaper fees. So, Binance is honestly more than an exchange token. It's its own DeFi ecosystem now. But what are the top ones in your mind?
I mean, I think they're all kind of much of a muchness. I guess BNB, as you say, because it has this whole other ecosystem beyond just being an exchange token and paying for fees. I mean, it depends, I guess, what exchange you're using. If you use, I don't know, if you use KuCoin a lot, then KCS is a useful one for you. If you use Binance, then BNB, etc. So,
Guy, final thoughts on the people watching this Binance news over the last couple of weeks. They're scared. They have questions. Final thoughts to them.
This is a big moment for crypto because a big sort of black cloud appears to be clearing. And that is good news, not just for Binance, but for crypto as well.
Very true.
So lots of people have been FUDing Binance for a long time. And what I will say is that they've always processed withdrawals. They survived billions of dollars worth of withdrawals in.
He's not wrong. A lot of people do have a black cloud over Binance for almost no reason. I mean, even personally, I did, and I don't even use Binance. I never trusted it for whatever reason. It just gave me a weird feeling, but they weren't really doing anything. Well, I mean, I guess it was kind of illegal, right? But they weren't like FTX in it. They weren't using customer funds to like commingle, with a different exchange or anything like that. So it just, I don't know. They were just sketchy to me.
In the wake of FTX, for example, they had a stable coin with an absolutely massive market cap that they were forced to basically offload. They did that. They succeeded in doing that. As far as I'm aware, no one lost money with BUSD. So far, Binance has coped with everything that's been thrown at it. And I think they will cope with this as well. And I think it will bring a little bit more certainty, a little bit more clarity to the crypto market. But there's a lot happening beyond Binance. Remember, the Coinbase is still locked in a legal battle with the SEC. The SEC went after Kraken again yesterday or the day before. Again, they got a massive fine out of them for their staking services, and now they're back at them. I think it's unregistered securities offerings this time around. So you know, the SEC, US authorities are still very much on the warpath. But I think if Binance is kind of in the clear now, if they can reset and, you know, not face further action from US authorities, then that is definitely a good thing.
Pretty awesome. Shout out to Austin and Mr. Guy over from Coin Bureau. All right. Recap. Let's see. What do you guys want to talk about? Any questions that you may have? That was actually fantastic. I'm glad to see the two OGs, Mr. Austin and Guy, get together and do a video like that. It's nice to just kind of get their thoughts on everything. And yeah, I think Binance BNB coin is going to be fine. All right, let's check out Nexa. Nexa's pumping. Mr. DJ Mines is saying. Let me check. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see. Nexa is pumping. It's up 19.5%. I'm pretty sure this is on the day as well. The hell? Get out of here. Get out of here. Let's check out this 24 hour, I guess. Oh, I guess it's not really pumping. It just kind of dumped and then jumped back up. So it took a little bit of a dip. Let's check out the 7 day. Nice. Wow. Nexa is up a lot. Holy shit. Wow. Impressive. Impressive. I was wondering why Panda was all about mining it right now. So thank Panda for this big pump you guys are having. You guys will see a video next week, I'm sure. 14 day. Wow, really? Jesus, look at the 1 year. Look at this though. Like, why did it have such a run up here and then take such a shit? Like, see, I don't trust coins like this. I don't know why. I don't like that. I don't like that they pump like that and then just die. It's sketchy to me. Weird. I don't know why that happens. Strange. Because, you know what I mean? Obviously, somebody with a huge bag got out. And that's what happened. I don't know. Just weird. Hitting rejection. Hitting rejection, says somebody. Mr. Jeffkey also in the chat. Shout out to him. Let's check out Flux. Flux is pumping as well today. If I'm not mistaken, if that would work. Let's see. Flux is up to 50 cents. Look at that. 18.8%. I think it was at 51 right at the start of the stream. Pretty awesome to see Flux actually moving up in the positive direction. That's hell yeah. That's great. That is awesome. Anybody still holding Flux? Let me know in the chat. Nexa has been low. It would need to put 1000x to profit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Nexa, but that's just me. I don't really know much about it, to be honest, so I apologize for the ignorance there. But yeah, I don't know. And listen, if people are making money off it, hell yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Get after it. That's all I can really say there. Flux is the biggest bag I have, says Leo Lustig. Hell yeah, good for you. A whole bunch, Crypto KJ. Such a dick. Such a dick. I'm just kidding. Full transparency, I sold out of my Flux. I did. But it was for profits. And that's why I did it. But regardless, doesn't matter. I sold out of a lot of coins, a lot of shit coins. I only hold, like, I have a certain portfolio where I just keep, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and then now Kaspa. I'm into Kaspa, but I also made a lot from that. So it's one of those things where it's just, you know, you got to make moves which makes the most sense to you. And I'm sure I'll buy back into Flux at some point, I'm sure, or I'll just get into it by mining, because I do have rigs that are all off and I do need to get some, and I'm excited for their proof of useful work. Actually, that's going to be pretty neat. And Mr. Geek of all trades is actually going to be dropping a video with Mr. Jeffkey. I got the sneak peek, so good video. I didn't get to watch the whole thing yet, but I can't wait to see what comes of it. All right, let's check out Lithium. Because I know a lot of people are in that. Let's switch screens. 63 cents, down 2.8%. Just check out 14 day. Yeah, honestly, like, everything's pumping, huh? It's crazy. Lithium 7 days. Oh, this is 14 days. Go 7 days. So about a week ago, it's 33 cents. Now it's up to 61. Jeez, that's a 50% move. Holy shit. Hell yeah. That's sick. You guys must be stoked. Who's mining lithium? I have like 300 in a wallet that I can't unlock. So, well, I can. I just have to update it, I think. It's like all blank on the screen. When I open it, it's just like nothing's there. So I gotta go and do that. But, ASICS coin? What the hell's that? What is this? I have no idea. I've never even looked at this coin. What is this? Anybody into this? It's up 12.6%. 1 year. How long's it been out? 30 days? 90 days. Wait, what is November? It just came out November 19th. What? Like a week old? What's today? What? It's a new coin? It's a new coin? Let me see. All-time high, trading volume, 167,000. I'm so confused. Did this just come out? It's brand new. X-Egg. God. What is this coin? I'm gonna have to look into this now. I have to see what this is. What is it? Mineable? Let me know. Crypto KJ. DJ Mine's no Nexa with a question mark. Is Andrew Masad? What? DJ Mine's ain't doing Nexa? Let me see. 22. I have 4 rigs on Lithium. Nice, man. Nice. CCXD mini bull run. It literally is looking like a mini bull run. It's crazy. Like, look at this. Everything's like, there's so many things that are up. Actually, you know what? Let's look on, let's go to 24 hours. So, again, Apecoin, Decentraland. I don't even know what this is. Alluvium? Is that how you say that? Alluvium? Bitsensor. Bitensor. Is that how you say that? God. That was tongue twister. The Sandbox, Axie Infinity, Injective, Flow, Gala. Man, let's see. What else? Anything? Actually, is this only certain coins? This is top. Does it do all coins? Or is it only top 100? I think it's only top 100. If I'm not mistaken. How do you change that, actually? Does anybody know? How do you change that from top 100 to, like, more than top 100? Is there a way to do it? Is there a way to do it? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see. It is not a mini bull run. It's seating people preparing for New Year's pump. It's going to be massive, says Kazuma. Nice, man. Nice. We'll see. I mean, to me, it seems like a mini bull run. Super low watts and AMD Kapow. Let me see. Kapow is awesome on AMD. Yeah, absolutely. It is. It is. 5,500 XTs were $100 on Newegg. Are they still having deals right now? Oh, Newegg. Let's see. Let's see. They still having Black Friday deals. When is this over? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Let's see. Components, PC laptops. Where do they have GPUs? Electronics. I'm just gonna type it in. GPU, maybe? Whoa. All right. Why does it go all white? Oh, there we go. Dark mode. Look at that. All right. Let's see. What do they got for deals? Real quick. And then we're going to go raid Crypto Mikkel in like 2 minutes. So apologize, Crypto Mikkel, for going late. $269 for a 3060 12 gigabyte. Now, these would be good for proof useful work because they're 12 gigabytes. You guys didn't know. 5,600, $135. Nice. 6,500 XT, $165. Nice, nice. I mean, they still have deals, save 11%. I don't know. A Newegg just kind of gives me, I don't know. I feel like they hose a lot of people, to be honest, on prices. But that's just me. I mean, it's a safer bet than going to eBay, at least my opinion. Customized to 300. Yeah, I have no idea. That's what you're talking about on this. Customize. Where is it? Oh, right here. Ah, yes. Thank you. How do I do that now? How do I just refresh it, maybe? Or did it refresh itself? It did refresh itself. Dude, thank you. Hell yeah. I didn't know that customize button was even there. Superverse is the biggest earner. 24 hours, top 300 coins, 42.7%. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Nice. Let's see. Keep scrolling down. HNT. That's still a coin? That's still here? What? Is anybody holding that? HNT? God. Those helium miners are the worst mistake ever. Just saying. I'm mining Crank now on them. If you guys are interested. Crank's a pretty good project. Let's see. Baby Doge. I got a bunch of that. I got like 11 billion of that. Please pump. Please get to the top 100 coins so I can sell it all. Please. That'd be great. That would be great. Nothing's really jumping out at me though, like coins that I care about. I don't know about you guys, but all right. That's gonna do it, guys. I love you all. Appreciate you all. Thanks for hanging out with me. I might be back tomorrow morning. I'm not entirely sure. I do have to go get a Christmas tree. So hopefully you guys have a great, happy Saturday. Go check out Crypto Mikkel. We're going to raid him right now. And yeah, until next time, guys, have a good one. I'll see you later on tonight. Misfit Mining Saturday Night Live. Have a good one and peace out. Steven Cicero, totally forgot. Had to show you this. Came out pretty good, actually. There's the KS0 holder. Printed amazing. Okay, really, bye.